This series begins with a school student, whose name is Charlie Spring. He is into guys. He gets a text from a guy called Ben Hope, that makes him smile. But does not find Ben in the library. Ben tells him to come meet him in lunchtime instead. He gets called to the fresh room by his teacher, to form a new group with a new person. There Charlie gets introduced to a new guy, whose name was Nicholas Nelson. They both smile at each other, and their friendship starts from there. This is true in boys' school. Later he is finally met with Ben, where they both share some cute moments. Charlie even gets a nice compliment that he is looking cute. Day by day he would meet his new friend Nicholas. One day while walking he is met with Ben, where he acts like he does not even know who Charlie is. He did not like his behavior. He gets to know that Ben also hang out with Nicholas, hence maybe he is cheating on him. Later on, his friend Tao gets to know that Charlie is very interested in Nicholas and tell this news to his girlfriend Elle Argent, who is studying in Higgs Girls' School. She reveals to him that her new school is great. Suddenly she gets caught texting by her teacher and gets her phone taken away. After school, both Charlie and Ben spend some cute time again. Charlie was talking to his teacher and explained his situation. He is afraid if Ben even thinks if they are even dating because he ignores him in front of other people. One day Charlie sees Ben having cute moments with a girl. He is shocked to see this and texts him that he cannot meet him anymore. His heart is totally broken and barely want to eat anything. Her sister Tori asks him about his ideal boy that he would like to date. Charlie's eyes catch Nicholas standing outside and tell her that he will settle for someone tall. Later while playing rugby, Nicholas noticed Charlie doing great in practice. He meets him later and asks that he like him and love him with all his heart. But this was just Charlie's imagination. He was there to ask him if he can be a reserve player and join his team. Later on, Charlie tells Tao that Nicholas is into him too. Before entering into the team room, he hears players making fun of him because he likes guys. Charlie isn't confident about his rugby skills, so Nicholas helps him out. Day by day they start spending more and more time while learning football. Ben on the other hand is desperate to talk to Charlie and texts him. He meets Charlie inside the empty school and tries to touch him. Charlie confronts Ben about his acts of being scared and having a girlfriend on his back. Ben tries to force him, to which suddenly Nicholas arrives and grab him by his shirt and pull him away. Their friendship was getting deeper. They later go their own way, and this incident makes Charlie smile. And tries to text Nick on Facebook, but he is afraid to do so, but finally says thanks to him. It is the same night and Nicholas is hesitant to text him back. He finally asks him if he is all right. Getting a text glows Charlie's heart and he smiles. Nicholas is nervous, but goes on with chatting with Charlie once again. Charlie starts to explain his story, where Ben met him playing drums and introduced himself to him. Hearing his story, Nicholas ends his friendship with Ben, where he starts to act a little supportive of him and Charlie ends up sending him a heart. Back in Higgy Girls' School, it is revealed that Ale just moved in the school and has no friends. Her teacher asks her to make at least a new friend. A girl catches her eye, but she is shy and watch her every day. Meanwhile, Charlie is having an argument with his friend Tao that Ben is straight. But Charlie tries to push his facts out of the window. Later he goes and asks his teacher on how to stop liking a straight guy, to which his teacher has no answer. Meanwhile, Elle ends up meeting with Tara Jones, where she asks her to join them at lunchtime. Later at lunch, she explains to them that in her previous school she would just get suspended for her hair length. She is enjoying with her new friends and school. Nicholas later asks Charlie to come to his house and meet him. He is excited and happy to go and meet him at his house. Charlie meets Nick and his dog Nellie there. They start to play their favorite game while he gets compliment from his crush. Suddenly he encounters that it is snowing outside. Nicholas gives him his hottie to wear and they go outside along with his dog Nellie. They are having great time outside in the snow. Each second was like heaven on earth for Charlie because Nicholas was with him. It is the next day in school and Nick is thinking of texting Charlie. But he gets interrupted by one of the girls from his group. While Charlie explains to his friend that he might like him back, but his heart shatters in pieces when Tao reveals that Nick is in love with a girl. He is single though, but he is interested in a girl whose name was Tara Jones. Charlie decides to have a meeting with his friends same evening. They all discuss about his situation and ask Elle to talk to Tara if there is anything that has been going on in between Nick and herself. Next day Elle approaches Tara and her friend and figures out that both of them are dating each other. At Charlie's house, he is teaching his friend Nicholas about drumming, where they also watch a movie. Nicholas is sitting beside him and seeing his hand, he really wants to hold it. Before leaving, he gives a hug to Charlie and leaves. His sister also suggests that he might not be straight. It is late night and Charlie proceeds to ask his group friends about his hug with Nick. While Nick also smiles looking at his and Charlie's picture. It is clear that they are falling in love with each other. Charlie is also surprised and happy to know that Tara does not like Nick and there is no chance. At night, Nick finally searches on Google if he is really straight. He is afraid to see so many things happening in the world towards the people who are not straight. At school, one of Nick's friends invite him to his birthday party, where he also ends up inviting the girl who likes him, which was because she insisted him. After their football game, everyone reveals about Nick that he used to have childhood romance with Tara. This upsets Charlie a lot. Later in the classroom, Nicholas asks him if he wants to go in a party with him, to which he agrees happily. At night, one of his friends remind him of the movie night their group decided on, but he really wants to go at the party with his crush Nick. Later, his father drops him to the party. Charlie arrives at the party, wearing a nice red shirt, ready to dance with Nick, while Elle arrives at Tao's house for the movie night. At the party, Nick is taken away by his friends and make him talk to Tara. She reveals to him that she got a girlfriend, and she is not really into guys. After the talk, his friends make fun of Charlie, resulting in pissing him off even more. At the party, Charlie meets Ben once again, where he tries to touch him. Nick is still on the verge of finding Charlie, but he is nowhere to be seen. He is stopped by the girl who likes him and tells him that she likes him. He finally finds Charlie sitting all alone. They decide to go away from the noisy place and talk somewhere quiet. Both start to race and ends up in a silent place. Charlie asks him if his relation was serious about Tara, to which he hesitantly tells him that Tara is interested in boys. He asks if he would kiss someone who isn't a girl, to which he is a bit confused. He finally asks him if he would kiss him, and Nick says yes, and they end up having a cute kiss. This does not last too long because Nick gets called up by his friends and suddenly leave Charlie behind. This was too much for Charlie to take and he leaves and calls his father. Later on, Nick goes to the same spot, but Charlie was long gone. He wakes up in the morning, no text from Nick, and go ahead with his routine. This time he imagines the same scenario, but in this one Nick says no to him asking if he would kiss him. He suddenly hears a big knock on the door and finds Nick standing outside, which surprises Charlie. Not after too long that they both go into Charlie's room, where Charlie decides to talk about last night's situation. He repeatedly apologizes to Nick, but little did he know that Nick himself would start to kiss him, which shocks Charlie. Since he is confused, he needs some time to figure himself out. They decide to keep it a secret and he leaves right after. Charlie could not resist himself and kiss Nick once again. Later in school, Imogen also noticed something different in Nick and his hair. At the class, they are happier than ever to see each other. Looks like Tao and Elle have something going on as well. At the lunchtime, Nick and Charlie decide to have lunch together apart from all the hustles. Charlie is not doing so great in the rugby team and gets scolded by the teammates. Their coach is afraid if he will do any good to the team, but he assures her that he will be fine. He decides to practice on his own by hitting harder and stronger, in which he finds some success. Later, Imogen walks up to Tara and confirms if she is dating Nick in any way or form. But she tells her the truth. Tao is afraid for Charlie and thinks how bad of an idea it is to date one of these boys from rugby team, and suddenly an incident happens.
Can I have the ball back?
Again,
It is the football game day, where all Charlie's friends are invited. There all of them ask if him and Nick are dating, but nervous Charlie tells them that they are just friends. Charlie is very nervous about the game. True Ham boys are on their verge to lose, while Charlie is not able to help the team. He even tries to stop someone but gets injured in the process. Now Nick can't help him out because that will break his promise of keeping this relationship a secret. Right after Isak arrives and interrupt their talk, and, before leaving the medicines, Nick goes and meets Imogen outside, where she asks him if he would like to go on a date with her, to which Nick awkwardly says yes, which was encountered by Charlie's friends. In a few days, Charlie and his friends can be seen playing Monopoly game and argue. They have still not decided if they should tell Charlie about Nick going on a date with someone. Meanwhile, they get to know that he invited Nick to his birthday party. At the school, he is about to tell Imogen that he does not want to go on a date. But she shows him that her dog died a day ago. Seeing this, Nick could not say no to her anymore. Once again, Nick's friends would mess with Tao and piss him off. To which Charlie starts to defend Nick, but at the same time watches him talk to Imogen. Since Nick is confused, he asks her mother about the right decision. To which she suggests him to not go out with people just because they are sad. It is Saturday. After introducing Nick to everyone, they start to play games and enjoy their time all together. Meanwhile, Tao decides to talk to him about Nick and Imogen. When Tao tells him the truth, Charlie is not able to believe it. Nick accidentally hears everything, which makes him super anxious about their relationship. Right after, Nick gives him a warm hug with all the love. In a while, Tao once again gives Nick a little warning. Later on, Nick finally reveals everything to Charlie. He even gifts him a picture that they took together. And they end up having a cute moment. Nick also texts Imogen about not going on the date with her that night. At the same time, Tao and Elle are attracting to each other. In the meantime, Elle takes a close look at Tao. Next day, Nick is able to explain to her that what the real issue is, but not directly. To which, she acts very mature and accepts the truth calmly. In school, when Nick's mate asks what happened on the date, Imogen reveals to them that both Nick and she decided to stay as friends, which makes them laugh. Back at Nick's home, he is exploring on the internet about himself being not straight. He is confused, maybe he is interested in both male and female. He watches videos on YouTube to understand himself. Back at school, Elle reveals that she has a crush on Tao, but she thinks he is her best friend and might not like this idea at all. On the other hand, Tao is again getting bullied by the boys and he insults him a bit. Tara is getting negative comments from her internet followers, which makes her uncomfortable. Right after, their teacher arrives and calls them for rehearsal. She also gets pointed out something about her from the classmates, but this did not bother her. Nick and Charlie are spending time in a park, where they are almost about to kiss, but Nick is scared to be seen by others. He is once again watching videos to understand about himself. At lunch, Nick decides to spend some time with Tara and her girlfriend. He probably looking for suggestions from them. They tell him not to come out if he isn't ready for it yet. He again asks her if she is sure about her liking girls, but Tara assures him that it is true. Because back when they were kids and kissed, she did not like it. Back at Charlie's home, Nick reveals to Charlie that he told Tara about them dating. To which he reacts very happy and have a cute moment in the end. Later, they decide to go on a double date with Tara and Darcy before their concert starts in school. All of them are texting about their plan the next day. They decide to take Tao and Elle on the date as well. While they enjoy their milkshake, Darcy points out that Tao and Elle make a good pair, which was a bit awkward. Later, Elle did not like that they are trying to set her and Tao up, which will change lots of things. They talk and figure out that the only one that does not know about Charlie and Nick being together is Tao. Charlie is looking for the right time to tell him. Right after, they leave for the concert. Right before the concert, Tara decides to run away from concert, followed by Darcy. Meanwhile, Nick reveals to Charlie that he might like girls too, but he isn't sure. Back in the room, Darcy and Tara gets locked in by mistake, but Darcy anyway wasn't feeling well about doing the concert. Since everyone now knows about them dating, things are not same anymore, but Darcy cheer her up by having a cute moment with her. In about a minute, the whole group come looking for Darcy and Tara and lead them to the concert. The concert goes very well for Charlie in the presence of Nick. In a few days, Nick has invited Charlie to go out with his football team and he is getting ready for it. He finally reveals to his sister about Nick and him dating as well, but she kind of already knew. Charlie's father leaves him outside and giving him a call if anything goes wrong. The boys are again making fun of Charlie and making him feel uncomfortable. Nick apologizes and ends up calling Charlie by his nickname Char, which was liked by Charlie. They watch the movie and hold hands together. After the movie, all of his friends again makes fun of him, and this makes Charlie very upset. Nick does not waste time and try to teach his friend a lesson and punch him in the face. After the fight, Nick's mother pick him up from there. He tells her that all this happened because his friend used a really bad word. Next day, Charlie wakes up, still seems pretty upset about last night. When he arrives at the school, he gets to know from a hole that Nick Nelson started a fight last night. Charlie is worried and asks Nick about the incident. Nick tells him that he will not stay friends with them anymore. Later, Charlie sits in his spot all alone once again. Tao and Elle are talking to each other, and there he gets to know that Nick and Charlie are going out. This makes him upset that everyone in their group knows this except him, and he walks away. At night, Charlie is a bit confused about their relationship and looking to talk to Nick about it and end up texting him. Elle comes to meet Tao the same night, to which he looks a bit surprised. Tao cannot get over the situation but says sorry to Elle. Next day at school, Tao texts Charlie to come at lunch, but he postpones their meeting. The bully once again tried to bother Tao, but Tao had enough of him and they both start to fight with each other. Everyone in boys' school makes a big circle and watches the fight. Nick comes in the way to stop them both. Meanwhile, Tao gets confronted with Charlie and he blames him for everything and run away. At night, Charlie texts Tao and apologizes to him, but he did not reply. He tells his sister that the guy he used to go out with, Ben, made him think that he ruins people's life. They share a warm hug in the end. Charlie goes back to school the next morning. While Tao is not interested to talk to Charlie, he meets Nick on his way out of the classroom and walks toward the coach and tells her that he is leaving the football team. Nick later asks Tao about Charlie, but he is nowhere to be seen. Tao explains that he might indirectly want Nick to come out about their relation a bit sooner, because Charlie will never force Nick to do this on his own. At night, Nick texts him, so does Charlie, but he backs off not too soon after. The rugby match is about to start, and everyone is excited for it. Meanwhile, Charlie decides to talk to his favorite teacher. In a while, Charlie decides to help Tao by running in the race instead of him, and as expected, he wins the race. He also confronts Ben being in a hole and also ends up hugging his best friend Tao. The games have started, and everyone is cheering up the players. While Tao and Elle are in a room all alone spending some time, Tao thinks everything is awful without Elle, to which Elle decides to tell him something. She tells him he got the wrong team paint. It is the rugby game time and all the players have arrived at their respective locations. Nick is going great in the team and cheering him up, which makes Charlie really happy. In the middle, Nick goes up to Charlie and grabs his hand and starts walking, while everyone was watching them. They go inside, where Nick reveals he really needs Charlie in his life and does not want to break up. This leads to them having a cute moment in the end. After the school, they end up going to a carnival and spend a lot of quality time together. They play games, take pictures, and lay down at the beach while listening to the music. Nick decides to tell everyone that they are together. Charlie could not believe his eyes, and they both hug each other in the end. This was the happiest moment of Charlie's life. Nick goes back to home and makes some coffee for himself and proceeds to talk to his mother. Nick nervously reveals to her mother that Charlie is his boyfriend and he likes both boys and girls, to which his mother gives him a warm hug. We once again see all the moments that he spends with Charlie, and they both decide to tell this truth to all the people they know, and this season ends here. This was one of the most beautiful love series I have watched this year, and I recommend it to everyone.